been a while since I've made a video. I thought I'd do a base feature video. I haven't done one of those, and the reason why I do enjoy this game so much is because you can be extremely creative with your bases and really get stuck in. You do run out of base parts after a while, but there's not much left to the imagination when knocking up bases in this game. So I feel like this is one of my best base creations yet. So I thought I'd show it off. Saw another base creation video on YouTube, so it just sparked a reminder of me. And, Trippy hasn't been doing many features lately of that. Sorry for the burp. And so I thought I'd give you a quick gaze of mine, maybe give some ideas, hopefully inspire a few people. But because that's all, I really do is build bases. I don't PvP that much. But what do we got here? A Venga bus. Okay. Anyway, I'll leave that block to go to it. So, as you can see, it's pretty big. Its location, I believe, I'll put this here on this particular server because Pinecrest is always going off. Brighty's always going off. So I thought I'd build in between that. And I have built on this hill before, many months ago, on the SAS servers when they sort of first launched. It draws a lot of attention. There's a lot of traffic here, so you get a lot of attention. People smacking on your base, people having a dig at your base. If you feel like it, when I'm bored or when I'm crafting and I'm on top of a tower there, that's where I craft. If I see a couple of geared blokes, I'll definitely have a dig, see if I can, get some target practice. Freshies I don't really bother about unless they start punching on walls, which they actually usually do. But anyway, let's run over the sort of exterior of the base. So I've got one of the main entrances here, airlocked sort of gatehouse there. Now the main thing about this base setup is that it made it sort of look rectangular. A lot of people build rectangular bases, but the key thing with this one is the towers. Now this is sort of the medium one, that's a larger one. You can see that you have the opportunity to get up on any tower and look down any wall. Now that's the main thing there, because any base you can run up against, you can just run up and start chopping away. They got windows all around there, but they can't do jack shit because they can't get us to aim on you. So they have to either open the door, get you through a little gap there. So that around these sort of this sort of medium tower, all around the towers basically, it punji sticks. Now this prevents them, if you're up there, just hugging the walls, because they'll just start bleeding and injuring themselves. So that's sort of a sneaky way to sort of keep them away from the corners and tucking in. And if they're in a rush or if they don't know they're there, they're going to step on them. And now with like the poison punches actually having a really good effect, which is adding torpidity, making them dizzy. Pardon me. I'm eating Maltesers and drinking Coke because it's a cheat day. They're really effective and they can deter people instantly. They'll just retreat or back off or whatever, or accept their fate. So, as you can see, just some standard walls here. Now, all my walls have multiple layers on them. You can probably see it by the pattern on them. And recently with the metal upgrades, which is awesome, I think, that they're sort of paying a bit more attention to bases now, and sort of world interaction, which is really, really, really cool. It's even harder for them to break in. And now that weapons have durability too, it makes it even harder. But I'm sure they'll balance that because it'll be exciting to actually be raided once again, because my base is almost pretty much fully finished. So here's the other side of the base. As you can see, that's pretty much my main tower there. Nice little gap there. I'll explain those little structures and the bits and pieces. This was the original wood chopping area. So this is where it all started, this tiny little bit. Like I had like a couple of walls around the tree, and then just expanded out from there all the way up to there. So it was a pretty big bloody effort, but and as you can see, of course, I've got the generic floating style base up there, which it's annoying that the game has it, but you'd be crazy not to have it. And then obviously I've got my drawbridge of gatehouses there, because I don't know why people don't do that, but whatever, their choice if they want to waste time taking bridges up and down and all that crap. So let's go inside. I'm glad I haven't been shot at yet. And we'll go have a look. So, airlocked, one side. So it's pretty big on the inside. It can, fit, obviously, here we can chuck some cars, some tents in there. I'm not a big car person. I'm not a hoarder of gear. I don't hoard cars to, store as much stuff in them as possible that I'm never going to use, because I just think, you've got mental issues if you do that. So, and with the wolf pelt. But it's got enough room to, if you flog a car from the city or something like that, you can just chuck it in for a couple of days or whatever. I let the boys do that. I tend to not beforehand, before the upgrades and stuff, I tend to just blow them up after the night, log out with all the stuff in them, because if someone does raid, I don't want them feeling like they've achieved something by blowing up a car or anything like that, or feel like they've got the gear out of it, so therefore mission accomplished. Because I don't want them to think that. So let's go up. This little thing here is like when I chuck like a tent or something like that in there. There's no tent in there now because of a certain bug that made the bases disappear. Everything like storage crates, tents, cars could all be seen. So that was a bit of a pain in the ass. I have my gear dropped on the floor there, but what are these boys up to? Right there.
Hello.
Hey mate, how you going? So anyway, just some kids. Oh god, the kids that play this game now. Jesus, they're a pain in the ass. Anyway, so this is the first tower, so I can just drop my shit over here. As you can see with the new walls as well, the reason why I double layer them too is not because of that, also because of the double, strength, but the visibility. You could see through the other walls quite easily. These plated walls make it so much harder. I haven't tested if you can shoot through them yet and hit somebody. I'm assuming if it was good designing that it would. If I just completely drop the buck there, oh well, they don't look good. So one of the main things here, as you can see, little perches, these little towers stick out just out the sides here, which is awesome. And I've got a little sandbag there just so you can get up just that little bit higher, because it can be a bit of a doozy if you're there doing this and someone's just underneath you. So I think that's great. Now the reason why I put these here, one, makes it the visibility for myself a little bit more restricted, but two, if they have a car and if they have a brain, they could possibly jump in through this gap if I didn't have that there. I can jump out of it. I couldn't test if I jumped in it because I don't have a car, because I'm not one of the hoarders. But I think it did bite me in the ass a little while ago when I was first building this base, so it wasn't completed, and got raided by about 8 Chinese people. Killed them about 16 times over, but eventually they got in and got probably like 2 pistols, because that's all that was left. Yeah, it sort of prevents them from jumping in. It's good, adds a bit of sort of restriction too, it's nice. So got little bags here, you've got good visibility. You go up the next level, same sort of deal up here. Nice sort of overview of the place. A lot of traffic down this road. If you're bored, you can pick some blokes off. Usually people run either all the way around there now, or they swim across the river or run down there now. They're intimidated, but I built the base here for action for that reason, so people complain, but anyway, I don't care. So there's that sort of structuring to it. Now, on my other servers, I've got like a big central tower which sort of stands out and is the main spot for looking out and over. But I thought in this one I'd keep the 4 towers, or the 2 big and 2 medium towers, sort of set up, because I'm worried about base parts and the limit, because I think it's 250 is the limit. So I just thought I'd build a walkway sort of along here. You've got your up and down, you can look up. I'm going to expand this actually, I'm going to make it 4x4 of that, 2x2 in the middle. It's very good visibility, I think, and also accessibility to get to the other main tower when there's other people, multiple people, whatever, running around being a bunch of gooses, punching your walls or whatever they're trying to do. So I think it's worked out really well actually. It's bloody unbelievable the amount of times we've been attacked and we can just relocate and just annihilate people who are coming and trying to be pests. So I think that's worked out really well. So, and then that leads to the floaty bit. Now, the bonus side of this hill is that, as all people probably know with floating bases, with a plot sign, you can build at 9 meters and above your plot sign. But if your plot sign is built on a surface higher than the level of the ground, hence a hill slope like that, or you can build on that rock over there, you virtually turn it into 9 meters high, but then like 5 meters below, and so you've got 14 meters that when they're on the ground that they have to get up to. So you can see that I've built it over the edge of the hill there, making it virtually impossible. I have no idea if they can or can't, but we'll find out when people stop hoarding shit. That they could pull up a military truck underneath it, which is the tallest vehicle in the game, I believe, and hack underneath or whatever. There is always the possibility, but I did move it back, so it's virtually almost impossible to stack shit and jump over there. That did happen once, but I corrected it and moved it back even further, took down some walls down there. Now it's great, but I'll go down here now. So this one here, looking over there, it's fantastic. And then accessibility, jump out here. So I've got, let's see, I've got some spare walls there, just in case something does get broken into. I've just got like all those just backed up, ready to go. And they had to come in handy. I think I was being raided by the Chinese players, and there were like 6 of them hitting this wall, and I had nothing on me. But I had a backup wall. The wall was greyed out because it was on about quarter health, and just chucked it in front of it, and then they just gave up. And that happened with the wood chopping area too. So here's just one of the other sort of medium towers. This one's a little bit messier, but the reason why it is because it was pretty hard to predict where everything would go, seeing as that this was the original base, and then it expanded all the way out to there. So this one has, I think I had to put this little table here, which you could just walk up on. You got mad visibility of like down at the doors, down this way, which is where they usually run. They just goose around. These windows are pretty handy. I wouldn't mind building, like on a couple of my old bases, some 3 meter high, 3 meter wide, 3 meter long, 1 meter wide ones, just across their walkway, so you could use those windows, but it's not really necessary. Got a few lights set up around in each section. I like to have the lights on in the base, and especially like playing on night servers, because it just gives a good feel, I guess, to your base. And then my wood chopping area, which I'll double layer this door later on. It'll be a pain in the ass, but I don't need the wood chopping area much anymore. This is the original area, so this was all sectioned off. It was probably about like this big at the start, and then just expanded out. I've got my nice little ramps, which I can sort of scoot up and out if I want to just get out of the base quickly, get out discreetly out the back. Someone's coming around here, whatever. So this area, the walls aren't as high. I don't care if someone jumps in here, which is very easy to do, because they can have a pain in the ass time getting in anyway. So, and even if they do get in, they're not going to get dick squat, because all the shit's floating up there anyway. So, and it's easy to get to. Which I don't. Yeah. Anyway, people have bridges. Oh, sorry, bridges, but they do have bridges. But gatehouse guide, and they don't use the sort of drawbridge technique, which is a bit odd, because I think it's amazing. So I can't remember the bloke's video where I saw it off. He had like a double length one. It was insane, and he used it to get cars and stuff in. But as you can tell, I don't really give two hoots about cars. They're more of a moving coffin than anything else, as you can probably tell from my videos and my love for Molotovs and throwing them at vehicles. So I think that just about does it. There might be a few more improvements if they raise the cap. I don't know where I am. I did ask them to put an indicator on the plot sign about number of sort of items used, so like 240 out of 250 or something like that. And then what else they'll bring, I'm not too sure. Sort of interactive crafting tables, water tables, planting, things like that. This base would be absolutely bloody perfect for it. So because it's spacious and there's no visibility into the base as well, which is fantastic. So yeah, I hope that sort of gives people ideas, a good rundown. Maybe a few different techniques. I did build in this area for high traffic, If you don't like high traffic, like most people, you can build up in the hills to the north or wherever you want. But it's up to you. You might not be able to build in such a nice sort of spot with a good hill. It takes a bit of planning and a lot of thinking beforehand, and a really good vision of what you want to do. I've built a lot of bases in this game. All of them improve on top of each other, so yeah, I think that just about does it. So anyway, share your thoughts, leave a comment or anything like that. Hopefully I've inspired you a little bit. If you have any questions about how things were done, like that bit there, or anything you can sort of think that could be improved on, I'd love to hear it. Share it around, do what you want, give it a dislike. Someone's hitting the fucking wall, so let's go up and see what happens. Where was that? Come on, you little bugger. That's what he gets for hitting my wall. I had to do that to finish the video off. That was good timing, mate. Cheers. Anyway, take it easy. I'm gonna go find some food or water, which I got the river down there and a house down there, so I can jump in easily there. Anyway, take care. Catch us on the flip.